And we have breaking news out of Malaysia. Malaysian Prime Minister Muhyiddin Yassin has announced a nationwide lockdown to curb the spread of Covid-19 in the country.
Covid-19 pandemic has posed a huge threat to the global public health and human social fabric. Malaysia had not been spared from it. In fact, Malaysia was heavily affected with the highest number of confirmed Covid-19 cases in Southeast Asia for almost 3 months, until being surpassed by Singapore on 18 April 2020. Malaysia reported its first Covid-19 cases on 25th January when 3 tourists from China entered Malaysia from Singapore. As a measure to combat the outbreak, the Prime Minister announced a nationwide movement control order to be in effect between 18 March until 31st March.
Bagi memulihkan keadaan secepat mungkin. Dan untuk itu kerajaan memutuskan untuk melaksanakan perintah kawalan pergerakan mulai 18 Mac 2020 iaitu lusa hingga 31 Mac 2020 di seluruh negara.
Following a series of control order followed by gradual easing of restrictions implemented, daily cases in Malaysia have declined steadily. However, a periodic spikes from subsequent clusters and failures to impose adequate restrictions in time had caused the subsequent wave significantly more widespread than the earlier wave. Prior to Covid-19, many couples in long-distance relationships were used to scheduling regular in-person visits with their partner. For those who resides in Johor Bahru and works in Singapore, it is common for them to commute daily between Malaysia and Singapore. But the closure of both state and national borders has left a devastating consequence for some living far from family. Malaysians who determine to keep their job during this hard time will have to endure separation from their loved one for as long as the border of both countries remain closed. Being away from each other during pandemic is not easy. Apart from the worry over the severity of the virus, uncertainty over the risk that their significant other is experiencing, one may experience anxiety of being separated, loneliness and stress.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Nadia. I am 30 years old. I am a lecturer of private college in JB and I am from Johor Bahru. My main challenge is during this pandemic or during the lockdown, my main challenge is my husband is working in Singapore and because of the border lockdown, he couldn't daily commute between his workplace that is in Singapore and our house that is in Johor Bahru. Before this, he commute daily, okay, from his workplace and our house. So due to this lockdown by the government or the border travel restrictions, he need to stay in Singapore until both government allow for daily commute between Singapore and Malaysia. We have been separated since governments of Malaysia announced the first lockdown, that is March 2020 until now. So it has been 9 months since then. It is a mixed feelings between sad, tired and scared. It is sad that we couldn't see each other daily basis, physically, right? And it's a bit tiring handling all daily activities alone, and it is scared as we don't know until when it will end. As it started from 2 weeks lockdown and now it's become 9 months already. Luckily now we do have our technology and our main platform is WhatsApp, okay, because now another bit of lucky as WhatsApp is already extend their functions to have video call and voice call, right? So we make use of that to make sure that we communicate, and up to now we will make sure that we will do video call every day without fail. So every day we are going to have our video call sessions, especially to create the bonding between the father and the children. I have one kid, one daughter. My daughter is turning 6 this year, and since last year pandemic, when the government announced it is a pandemic, so she understand that we couldn't go out much because of the virus, and she understand that her father need to do some work, and sometimes she did ask why her father did not come back yet. But the most that I can answer her is in the way or in the middle of the way from the house and the office, there are lots of virus, and we're afraid that the father could get the virus, so he have to stay in his workplace area. The most concerns when we are in this long distance relationship is his welfare, of course, okay, and his mental health and physical health. All right, physical health we can see because you can feel that sickness, but not mental health. So once the government announced a lockdown, and we got to know that he have to go back to Singapore and stay there until the lockdown is over. So my parents come over from Perak, come down to Johor, and to be with me to accompany us due to the lockdown. My first concern is about the virus or pandemic. The most, we cannot eliminate the virus, but I hope that the government can control the pandemic and come up with some procedures, and both government sit down and come up with the procedure in order to make or to allow daily commute between both countries, especially to the Malaysians that were in Singapore, and my husband can come back to us.
Dia's case is one of the hardships in terms of relationship that been faced during COVID-19. Social support is really important in order to help others during challenging times, as it also consistently linked to mental and psychological health. COVID-19 made our social interaction fewer, hence it is possible that people may feel lonely, particularly those who were confined at home alone. There are 3 tactics that can be done in order to reduce this loneliness. First, recognize your loneliness. Take it seriously and objectively. Second, be vulnerable to at least one person. It may not be easy to talk about your emotion and how you feel at first, but you must at least find someone you can confide with. Talk as often as both of you can. And be part of something greater than yourself. Join the good cause. Be aware of your surroundings. Be in charge of your life. Don't wait for that one day. Start now.